Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon. Am I audible to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I welcome you all to this online session of CFN 3 Economics of Food. We would be starting the class shortly. Let's wait for 5 minutes and let everyone join in, and then we start with the class. In the meanwhile, I request everyone to please mention your attendance in the chat box along with your name and enrollment number. Okay? Any questions, Hetal?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. It's by mistake I'm done. Sorry, ma'am.
I would request everyone to please mention your name along with your enrollment number. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
On behalf of IGNU RC Delhi 1, I welcome you all to this online platform of CFN theory classes. Initially, I really want that all of you should open your camera and give me a sort of brief introduction about yourself, as I would be taking your CFN 3 class, and myself, Ruchi Arora. I have been taking CFN classes from last 12 years and have been associated with IGNU from last 15 years. So I am basically MSc Net and having vast experience in MSc Nutrition, Diploma and graduation level classes. So, one by one, I want your brief introduction, which should include your name and your background. Please, everyone, open your camera.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Ma'am, we can't hear you.
You are
You're
muted.
on mute.
Audible now?
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
So, I welcome you all to this online platform of CFN3 classes. I have been associated with IGNU from last 15 years. My name is Ruchi Arora, and it's my pleasure to serve at various masters, grads, and diploma level through various courses of IGNU, especially in nutrition. So I would like to hear about you. One by one, I want a brief introduction about yourself so that we can move ahead with our session. Yes, please. Let's
Hello.
start. Yeah.
Hello. Hi, I'm Dr. Gauri Shah. I'm a homeopathic consultant and a wellness coach, and I stay in Mumbai. So I have my own practice, and along with that, I'm keen to know more about
Welcome to the call.
diet and nutrition. Yeah. Thank you.
Welcome, Dr. Gauri.
Yeah.
Yes. Next, please.
Hi, hi, Dr. Ruchi. This is Tejal Mehta. I am also connected from Mumbai, and by qualification, I am a chemical engineer, and right now I'm a wellness coach. And so,
Very good and nice to hear. So drastic change from a chemical engineer to a wellness coach. Good to hear
I shall.
about,
Yeah,
the new perspectives. And we could see, how nutrition is the core of the, life of everyone and how drastic, people change from one field to another field. Yes. Welcome.
Yeah. Hello, Dr. Ruchi. I'm Dr. Aradhana. I'm a naturopath, ND, NMD, specialized in herbal medicine, and I practice also. And we make herbal medicines and we do export also in Delhi. I'm in Delhi. And
Very
one
good.
more thing I
Very
would
good.
like to
Nice.
say that
Nice
I
to see
might,
so good and qualified people.
and I'm sorry, I
Yes.
just want to say that I might have to leave the class a little early. And tomorrow I won't be able to attend because I have a death in the family today. So I'm so
Okay.
sorry.
But don't worry. We should be optimistic that the session is being recorded so you can have the access to it.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Next, please.
Hello,
Yeah.
I'm Neela Masnani, connected from Mumbai. I am a commerce graduate from Delhi University, and now I'm a wellness coach also. Thank
Oh,
you.
so many wellness coach in the class. Nice to
Yes.
see you.
Hey,
Next,
hi, good
please.
afternoon, ma'am. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, good afternoon, ma'am. I'm retired Colonel Rajkumari from Punjab, and I
Yeah.
have done last year only I got retirement, and I have
Hmm.
just want to know about the nutrition and all.
Oh, great. I am experiencing so much of diverse field people in this class. Nice to have a good experience with you all. Yeah. Next, please.
Hello, ma'am.
Yeah. Hello.
या मेरा नाम निकेता बिलाकिया है। मैं ब्यूटी कंसल्टेंट हूँ एंड वेलनेस कोच हूँ। आई एम फ्रॉम मुंबई।
Oh, great. So many people from Mumbai. Good. Mumbai is, very, very nutrition freak these days. Good.
Hello, ma'am. Good afternoon. My name is Hetal
Good.
Desai. I am a wellness coach, and from Mumbai, I have connected.
Oh, I think five or six people are wellness coach over here. Nice to know. Yeah.
Yeah, hi
Hi,
ma'am.
this is
Hello, Ruchi. This is Dr. Trupti. I'm a homeopathy consultant and also wellness coach. Wanting to learn from you a lot about diet and nutrition connected from Mumbai.
You're most welcome. See, we are here just to have, good sort of experience. I could see, the people over here I'm sharing my, awareness on is from the diverse field. And you are experienced in your own, culture. So let's have a good participation and good, exchange of thoughts. Basically, I could say about nutrition, but even you also can add on, about your various life experiences and, basic knowledge about the nutrition and core concepts. Yes. Anyone
Hello.
else?
Yeah, hi Ruchi ma'am. This is Amisha. I'm a health and skin advisor, and it's really glad to have this conversation session after the two subjects are over. This is the first time we might be, seeing a person who is teaching us. So thank you so much for this interaction session. I was a teacher earlier, and I'm from Chembur, Mumbai.
Oh, great, great. See, whatever, it's short or long class, it's important to have a basic understanding about a teacher and the students. So I really want to be interactive and I really want, to have a good interaction with the students first.
हेलो
Yes.
मैम, गुड आफ्टरनून। मेरा नाम शैला है,
Yeah.
शैला वखारिया, और मैं ग्रेजुएट हूँ मुंबई यूनिवर्सिटी से और वेलनेस कोच हूँ। थैंक यू।
Okay. Welcome, welcome, Sheila ji. I could see, lot of senior and experienced people are there.
यस।
Very happy to see. And they should be the very pop. We should never leave the prospect of dire to learn. Learning is a ever going process. Yes.
Hello, I am Dr. Unnati Patel. I am a dentist by profession and I am from Mumbai as well.
Oh great, सारा मुंबई आ गया आज तो यहाँ पे.
Yeah.
Nice to see. Yeah.
Hello, good afternoon. I am Tessie Alex from Ernakulam, Kerala. I am a retired professor in physics.
Oh, nice to see. I was in Ernakulam 2 days back. I'm just back from Kerala
Oh,
yesterday.
okay. Ernakulam for a visit, or a trip, or a professional meeting, or
Yeah,
anything
yeah.
like
I
that.
was there for a trip. I went to Ernakulam, Trivandrum,
Mm.
Kochi. I'm just back yesterday.
That is a pleasure trip or a professional meeting.
Yeah,
Was it a professional trip or a pleasure trip?
yeah, yeah. It was a family trip.
Okay, very good. Okay, thank you.
So are we done? Okay. So, first of all, now I think we can be relaxed and we can switch off the cameras. And now I would be taking to the vocal sessions where, we can just have a great insight about the subjects that I'm going to teach you and give you some highlights exactly what CFN, what CFN3 is, and what are the basically the blocks and the units that we are going to cover. So I'm just going to brief you out with the first block. I hope I am audible to everyone.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. So till now you have covered CFN 1, CFN 2 and CFN 3. So CFN1 was very, very general. It was just about, the basic introduction about what exactly food is, what is the importance of food, and what are the various nutrients, and the very basic thing जो हमें लगता होगा, it's, the thing which we have learned from 6th or 7th standard. Then we move to our CFN2, where Dr. Hamid have taught you about, what happens to the food in our body, and what exactly the food impacts when we don't keep our eating habits up to date or appropriate. So basically, it focuses on the correct eating regime and the quantity and quality of food your body actually needs to sustain and survive. And now, when we start with CFN3, we would be discussing about the various concepts of food and food expenditure, about the process of planning of food production, with our special reference to the various quality of nutrients in the form of macro and micronutrients, which are actually required by our body, and which actually could be obtained by planning a clean and clear and quick kitchen garden or a terrace garden. And we should also be learning about how government is putting in the efforts to improvise our agriculture sector, our livestock sector, poultry sector, pisciculture programs, and the dairy enterprises. These are the units which are actually related to our food production management. So we could see that government, when it is coming to preparing the strategies, the policies, lot of regulations, so government have to understand the concept of the resources which are available at the central and the state government. So accordingly, all things and resources could be managed and judicially divided and allocated to various state and central level. We would also study about the particular section of the people, especially the highlighting sections which are more vulnerable to majority of the nutritional disorders or nutritional ailments. Specifically, we talk about the woman and child, and we would be also learning about the various programs which the government is initiating in order to respond to the problems of malnutrition and health in our countries. So what exactly the government is doing, what kind of programs and policies the government is providing to the beneficiaries to overcome the problems and issues related to food production, supplementation, and consumer education. So basically, this CFN3 majorly highlights upon the food expenditure patterns, government policies, and the vulnerable section, which is more targeted for nutritional deficiencies. So these would be the highlights that would be discussing under CFN3. This CFN3 has various units. We would be covering all the units starting from unit 1. And in unit 1, we would be studying about the food expenditure, food budgeting, the sources of food, and the concern of various food productions and its participatory methods. And in unit 3 for today, we would be discussing about the public distribution system and how the government regulates this public distribution system, which is associated with the allocation of food resources in the entire nation. So again, I will welcome you all. Before I start on with the first unit, I want every one of you to mention your name and enrollment number in the chat box for your attendance. And I give you around 5 minutes of the same, and then I start with unit 1. How do we spend our food money. Okay? Is that clear to everyone?
Clear, ma'am. Clear, ma'am.
Yeah. So quickly. Are we done?
Done, ma'am.
Yeah. Shall we start now?
Okay, ma'am.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, madam.
Okay. So the first unit for CFN 3 is economics of food, in which we would be studying about food budgeting, agricultural production and distribution. So when we discuss about how do we spend our food, we understand ये जो फूड है जो एक्चुअली एक प्राइम नीड है, एक तरीके का फ्यूल है बॉडी का, जो हर लिविंग बीइंग को चाहिए ही चाहिए फॉर सर्वाइवल. सो we consider food as the basic requirement of survival. So food come to us actually in different forms. The two major groups which actually provide us with the basic energy, and the second group gives us the vitalities of protection and supplementation. So when we talk about the group 1, which includes the energy rich sources to the body which we eat in our daily living, like rice, wheat, jowar, bajra, ragi, pulses, legumes, edible oils. And in group B, we majorly consider the commodities like milk, vegetables, meats, eggs, fish, fruits, and sugar. So these are the basic two groups which are actually required as the basic need for survival. So the consumption of these commodities majorly depends on your income, taste, preference, food habit, and the place you live. As we know, we live in a country where we have diverse cultural backgrounds, and every cultural backgrounds is associated with their peculiar eating and traditional food styles. We could see elaboration from Gujarat to West Bengal to Northeast to Southern India. Everywhere, the eating and dietary patterns are way much different. So, all the requirement of the body of a human depends on the regionalities where the personal belong. We could relate like this when we see from southern India, the people, they have very good hair, very good eyes, because they are more close to the consumption of eating uh, animal products in the form of fish, which is the high source of biotin and other important protein and vitamin sources, which naturally makes their hair and their eyes very beautiful. When we talk about the places from northern India, they are mostly of the fairer texture because they are most to the colder areas where the genetic compatibility and composition is just like that. They are just more on the fairer part. सो वी कुड सी दैट कि हमारा जो जेनेटिक मेकअप है वो हमारी रीजनैलिटीज पे बहुत ज़्यादा डिपेंड करता है. एंड वी कुड रियली मेक आउट एंड वी कुड मेक आउट द डिफरेंस. वी कुड ईजिली रिकॉल कि ये नदन है, ये वेस्टर्न पार्ट से है, या नॉर्थ ईस्टर्न पार्ट से है, ये सदर्न पार्ट से है, with the kind of food values which makes their genetic makeup and their physical structures. So, after this, we come to the food expenditure. Food expenditure is the term which explains how the money is actually being spent on the buying food items, which creates the food expenditure. And this totally depends on the personal income, household income, and accessibility and availability of food to the person. So, when we talk about the factors which influence our food expenditure, firstly comes the income. When we talk about the income, we have different sort of income group people like high, middle, and low. High income group people are more accessible to lot of proteins, vegetables. Middle income group are, because of their financial constraint, they are marginally associated with less amount of proteins and vitamins and minerals because they have less accessibility to milk, curd, animal proteins, even nuts and oil seeds. Whereas the low income group, which is the most affected group, where we see lot of cult in the financial aspect, and this group is majorly getting its energy needs through bland carbohydrates and high carbohydrate sources from sugar and high carbs, and they have very less approach to milk, meat, and other fancy sources. Then we have the food prices and quantity. So when we talk about this concept, uh, the income factor really influence the expenditure on food, and when the food prices increases, the quantity of food decreases. So we could see the food prices and quantity have a direct link, which means increase or decrease the level of your consumption of the commodities would reflect, because if vegetables go high, people tend to consume it less, because again it will influence their family budgeting and they will be over budget. So the major factors which influence the expenditure on food is your income, your taste preferences for different types of food, the extent of substitutes available for the food, and the prices which you pay for the food items you consume. सो इन शॉर्ट आई वुड लाइक टू से कि फूड एक बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट चीज़ है जो हर इंसान को बहुत ज़रूरी खाना ही खाना है. अब ये मेजरली फूड दो सोर्सेज से आता है, एक तो हमारी डायरेक्ट एनर्जी सोर्सेज और एक हमारी जो प्रोटेक्टिंग एंड रेगुलेटिंग न्यूट्रिएंट्स की होती है, मेजरली द वाइटामिन एंड मिनरल्स. सो जैसा इंसान के पास इनकम होएगा, उसकी अफोर्डेबिलिटी होगी, वो उसी तरीके के खाने को परचेज कर पाएगा. और अगर ये खाना थोड़ा सा ऊपर नीचे होता है विद इन द पॉपुलेशन, we could see many people will start declining their buying because it's not approachable easily. If things are not approachable, so that if things are not approachable, people showed a decline of not buying it, which actually affects the nutritional status of a population. So, in order to understand this concept of food expenditure, one more concept comes on making a food budget. अगर हम रैंडम ना होकर एक बहुत ही प्लानिंग स्ट्रैटेजी से अपने फूड और कैलोरी रिक्वायरमेंट और एक्चुअल नीड्स को अगर समझे, तो हम थोड़े पैसों में भी बेटर न्यूट्रिशन कर सकते हैं. सो उसके लिए हमें थोड़ा सा क्या होना है, एक रणनीति बनानी है और एक स्ट्रैटेजी बनानी है, जिसका कॉन्सेप्ट हम समझेंगे. दैट वी नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड द कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ फूड बजटिंग, कि हमारा ओवरऑल बजट कितना है, मंथली, वीकली, फोर्टनाइटली, और हम किस तरीके के सोर्सेज को अपनी डाइट में इंक्लूड कर सकते हैं, और अगर वो सोर्सेज बहुत महंगे हैं तो उसका ऑल्टरनेटिव या सब्स्टिट्यूट क्या हो सकता है जो हमारे को उसकी जगह उतना ही एडिक्वेट न्यूट्रिशन दे. सो फूड बजटिंग का अगर आपको कॉन्सेप्ट क्लियर होता है, तो आप थोड़े में भी बहुत बेहतर न्यूट्रिशन अपनी और अपनी फैमिली के लिए प्लान कर सकते हो. आई होप एवरीवन इज गेटिंग मी एंड यू आर नॉट हैविंग एनी डाउट्स टिल नाउ.
No, ma'am.
Okay.
Excuse me, ma'am. You said
Yeah.
4 points regarding food expenditure. One was income, taste, exchange of substitutes, and the last one was?
And the extent of substitute, price which we pay for the food
Okay.
items that we consume.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Now we come to the concept of budgeting. So budget is a simple statement of income which includes your earning and expenditure. Income is the earning and expenditure is your spendings. So your earnings come from different sources. This may be in the form of salaries, interest, earning, gifts, sale of assets, sale of produce, or in case of some production. So income from different sources may materialize at different periods and different avenues, and expenses on your consumption needs, housing, clothing, medicine, special occasions, etc., which should be included at different points of time. So basically, whenever we plan a budget, we should know how much is coming, how many needs are there for the family, what is the size of the family, and we should definitely fix a proper amount to our food budget. क्योंकि अगर हम प्रॉपर अमाउंट नहीं होंगे तो वो हमारा पूरा बजट हिला देगा. So one concrete figure कि we need to spend 10,000, 15,000, 20,000, and it should be in the round of amounts. So when we plan the food budget, Just a second. Am I audible?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
So, when we plan a food budget, we should plan our food budget well in advance before we go for the actual buying or spending the money. So this plan includes a detailed thinking of your needs for present and future, and how will you fulfill these needs in terms of your money available, your physical capabilities, and how best can you achieve your needs with the least cost, and how well you can manage all things at one go. So this involves lot of basic research and a basic idea of where you will get the qualitative products, कहाँ आपको डील्स अच्छी मिलती हैं, कैसे और कब आपको ज्यादा एक्सेसिबिलिटी मिलती है। जैसे हम आजकल देखते हैं कि जब भी हम अपने घर का राशन वगैरह कुछ लेते हैं, हमें पता होता है हमें किस क्वालिटी का खाना है और वो हमें कहाँ से मिलेगा। सो इट्स बेटर टू ऑलवेज फिक्स अ वन शॉप और अ वन प्लेस। हमें बार बार जगह बदलनी नहीं चाहिए, और अगर हम जगह बदलती हैं तो हमें एक दो सोर्सेज पता होने चाहिए कि जहाँ पे हमें रैंडम डिस्काउंट्स मिल सकते हैं, क्योंकि आजकल हम देखते हैं ऑनलाइन डिस्काउंट्स और कई स्टोर्स पे, जैसे हम सुपरमार्केट स्टोर्स हैं, अपने अपने ऑफर प्राइसेस निकालते हैं। सुबह सुबह जाओगे तो सब्जियां बहुत महंगी होगी, थोड़ा लेट नाइट हो जाओगे तो सब्जियां आपको सस्ती मिलेंगी। अगर आप थोड़ा मिडनाइट डील्स देखोगे तो उसमें भी आपको कई ऑफर्स मिलेंगे। तो यू शुड हैव अ गुड रिसर्च पावर फ्रॉम वेयर यू कैन बाय by spending least and buying maximum. So you should make a list of things first कि what is the basic requirement जो आपके घर में daily यूज होती हैं, जो कभी कभी यूज होती हैं, और जो बिल्कुल बिल्कुल ना के बराबर यूज होती हैं। तो आपको उन सब चीज़ों का पता होना चाहिए कि प्राइमरली आपके फूड हैबिट्स के साथ कौन सी चीज़ें आपको डेली बेसिस पे चाहिए, कौन सी वीकली बेसिस पे चाहिए, और कुछ मंथ में जो आप कभी कभी खाते हो मंथली बेसिस पे, तो उसका स्टॉक आप उस हिसाब से खरीदो, ताकि जो ज्यादा चाहिए वो ज्यादा खरीदो, जो कम चाहिए उसकी क्वांटिटी आप कम लो। सो दिस इज द वे ऑफ प्लानिंग अप्रोप्रिएटली एंड एक्यूरेटली. So the preparation of food budget should know the prelim knowledge of how many family members are there, what is their age group, what are their requirements, what are their needs, what are their preferences. Like in some family, non-veg is eating twice a week, or in some families it is eaten 15 days में एक बार. So you should know कि आपका non-veg eating pattern क्या है, या आप strictly vegetarian family है तो कौन सी vegetables आप week में कितनी बार खाते हो. So all that should be in a written format, so you all can have a clear picture about how to spend, where to spend, and how much to spend in how much quantities. सो बेसिकली आपको ये भी पता होना चाहिए कि जो सीजनल वेजिटेबल्स होती हैं वो सस्ती होती हैं, तो यू शुड मेक अ हैबिट कि अगर हम सीजनल वेजिटेबल्स को ज़्यादा कंज्यूम करेंगे इन द सीजन, दैट इज़ रियली गोइंग टू कॉस्ट यू less. And if you prefer to eat unseasonable, which is also not so nutritious, so you could really increase on the budget. सो आपको ये भी पता होना चाहिए अगर आप कौन सी ऐसी वेजिटेबल्स है जो लार्जर अमाउंट्स में लेंगे तो आप ज़्यादा लेंगे, लेकिन आपकी 3-4 बार बन जाएगी, फिर वो आपको ज़्यादा कॉस्ट इफेक्टिव पड़ेगी. लेकिन आप एक ही सब्जी थोड़ी बार में लोगे या कम क्वांटिटी में लोगे और उसको बार बार फ्रेश लेकर बनाओगे तो वो आपको ज़्यादा महंगी और कॉस्टली पड़ेगी. सो ये बेसिक बेसिक चीज़ें हैं जो आपको इसमें ध्यान रखनी होती है वाइल प्रिपेयरिंग योर फूड बजट. सो फूड बजट बनाने के लिए यू शुड हैव द कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ द प्राइस इंडेक्स टेबल. ये जो प्राइस इंडेक्स टेबल है, इट इज अ सिस्टम ऑफ एक्सप्रेसिंग द करेंट प्राइस एज द परसेंटेज ऑफ योर बेस प्राइस. There is a table in your book on page number 11 where you can have a commodities price month wise. सो इतना हम इतना डिटेल में नहीं जाते हैं. अगर हमें अच्छे से नॉलेज होती है तो हमें यूजली पता हो जाता है. यूजली हम इतना बेसिक कैलकुलेट नहीं करते हैं, लेकिन ये आइडिया मेजरली अप्रोक्सीमेशन और एन्यूमरेशन पे होता है कि जहाँ पे हम अंदाज़ा लगा लेते हैं कि वीट का प्राइस कितने महीने में कहाँ पे हमें सस्ता मिलता है और क्या होता है. सो फैमिली बजट जब भी बनाना होता है, इट्स इम्पॉर्टेंट कि हम उसको मंथली, 3 months और 6 months के बेसिस पे बनाएं ताकि हम एक पैटर्न बजटिंग को फॉलो कर सकें, विच वुड बी क्वाइट इकोनॉमिकल. सो बजट शुड बी प्लान एटलीस्ट फॉर 6 months ऑन अ रिटन बेसिस, जिसमें आपकी सारी आइटम्स एंड कमोडिटीज लिखी होनी चाहिए. और अगर आप इतना उसमें नहीं पता तो एक, अगर आप इतने टाइम से करते आ रहे हो तो आपको एक बेसिक आइडिया होना चाहिए कि राइस की कंजम्पशन, व्हीट की कंजम्पशन, बेसन, सूजी, लेग्यूम्स की कंजम्पशन और वेरियस अदर मिसलेनियस जो सोर्सेज होते हैं, सॉल्ट, शुगर, जैगरी, कोकोनट, उनकी कंजम्पशन कितनी कितनी और कितने अमाउंट्स में होती है और मंथली बेसिस पे आपका वो कितना लग जाता है. जैसे एक घर में अगर लोग ज्यादा है तो उनको पता होता है कि मेरे घर में 3 थैली आटे की लगेगी 5 किलो के हिसाब से, या 2 थैली लगेगी या 1 थैली, तो हम एक बार में ही बल्क बाइट करने की कोशिश करते हैं. सो दिस शुड बी द वे ऑफ अंडरस्टैंडिंग द रोल ऑफ अ यूनिट प्राइस and the wholesale price and the wholesale quantity. So with this unit we understood about the expenditure of food, why it is important and how it varies with the income, food prices and quantity of food. So जितना amount of money हम food पे खर्च करेंगे as per the income, it will actually give us the approximate yield. So the amount of money spent on food increases with the increase in income, but the proportion of expenditure on food falls as the income increases. So in this unit we also learn about what is the food budget, family budget, and how to prepare a good family budget. So this was a very basic concept on the importance of food budgeting, which we just covered in unit 1. Now I want to give you all 5 minutes to go through your units of CFN 1, unit 1, and just go through what I've taught you, and I'll give you 5 minutes for this, and after that I will be moving on to the unit 2, how do we plan for growing our food. Okay. So let's get connected after 5 minutes. I hope everyone is having your study material with you, or shall I share it? Shall I share the study material?
Yes, you can, ma'am.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, please.
Like as per the, I mean, exam which we are going to give, like what are the important things that we should know about, like food budgeting. So we need to know about those, what do you call, for example,
Yes, you should
table
know about the
1.2,
factors,
food
what
budget
is
for
food
6 months.
budgeting and the factors.
Pardon? Food
Yes,
budget and
फूड बजट एंड मतलब हर यूनिट के ऊपर आपको ये पता होने चाहिए फूड बजट के फैक्टर्स, फूड बजट क्या होता है, उसके फैक्टर्स क्या हैं.
ओके. और हाउ टू प्रिपेयर अ फूड बजट, वो भी आएगा क्या कुछ ऐसे कि जनवरी फरवरी के हिसाब से 3 मंथ्स का बजट आप करके दो, ऐसा सब भी पूछेंगे?
ऐसा सब बहुत वो नहीं आता है, लेकिन ये जो एक आपका ये कॉलम दिया हुआ है ना आपकी बुक में, आई एम जस्ट शेयरिंग योर, आप उस हिसाब से अपने 6 मंथ्स का या 3 मंथ्स का बजट प्लान कर सकते हो, जिसमें आप एक कॉलम बनाकर यू कैन जस्ट मेंशन कि आपकी क्या क्या आइटम्स हैं और वो कौन से मंथ में कितनी क्वांटिटीज में कंज्यूम होती हैं, उसी
ओके.
पैटर्न के हिसाब से आप बना सकते हो. ओके.
अच्छा, ठीक है.
इधर उत्तर में मेरे को दिख गया गाना, मेरे को ही
हाँ,
दिख गया.
so I am sharing the study material and posting the link in your chat group.
Ruchi ma'am, can you just explain this example that calculation has been given?
Okay, this usually not comes because ये basically आप देख रहे हो 2001 and 2000 का concept है, जिसमें आपका एक example दिया है इसमें how to calculate your price index, जिसमें एक example दिया है कि आपका एक ये chart है जिसमें एक दिल्ली का एक प्राइस इशू हुआ है. So the monthly wholesale price of wheat which is of Dara variety was 700 per quintal in April 2001 to 2002. and rupees 960 क्विंटल in 2000. So you could see कितना वेरिएशन आ गया. 2001 से 2 में 700 था और वहीं ये 2007 से 8 में 960 हो गया. सो अगर आपका ये बेस पीरियड है 2001 से 2 का, द प्राइस इंडेक्स इज 700 एंड द करंट प्राइस इज 700. सो द इंडेक्स प्राइस कैलकुलेटेड इज द current price divided by your base price into 100, right? And the formula given is the price index is calculated with the current price divided by the base price into 100. You have to just put the value into the formula of a price index. Okay.
Can you repeat, ma'am?
Like we have to take the base price as the like how do we choose the base price?
Yes, base price and the current price,
We can take
right?
anything, either base or current. I mean, 2001 to 2002 is considered as the base, and the current is
Yes,
2007 to 28.
2007 to 2008.
Okay, okay. So the earlier one is to be considered as base, and the current one. Okay.
Yes.
But then the 700 is divided again by 700 again. The current price
That is
will
the
come
index price.
950, right?
First, you have to calculate the index price, and after index price is the price index.
I did not understand how to calculate. Is this going to come?
No, this is not going to come, but this is very basic.
Ma'am, in which pattern question will come?
See, the question might come on what is food budgeting, and by chance, if you have to draw the food budget, you have to only mention the name of the commodities and जितना भी duration दिया हो आपको 1 month का या 3 month का या 6 months का, उतने months आप लगा दो और उस कॉलम को आप फूड बजट के फॉर्म में प्रिपेयर कर दो. इतना ही आपका आएगा.
It will come in your objective type or true or false type also question.
नहीं नहीं, इस यूनिट में से नहीं आएगा, आगे वाले यूनिट में से आ सकता है.
Okay.
Ma'am, in assignments, no, we had a similar question, like prepare a food budget for 3 months. So in that, we had to write all these categories up to 20. जितने भी food items है ना मैम, वो
हाँ,
सभी
सारे 20 नहीं, आपको जो लगता है जो आपके फूड हैबिट्स के साथ मैच कर सकते हैं आप उनको मेंशन करो, बट एटलीस्ट 15-16 के करीब तो होने ही चाहिए क्योंकि ये सारे बेसिक है. अब कई लोग अगर मिलेट्स ज्यादा नहीं खाते हैं तो यू कैन ओमिट मिलेट्स.
हाँ, okay. So just a quantity, and the amount also in that, right? Yeah, ma'am.
Yes.
So the quantity purchased in that month and the amount spent on that food product, उतना ही लिख के उनका कुछ टोटल
उतना
मारना
ही
है.
लिखना है. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
I have posted the link for the same. And you can easily download this study material from eGyanKosh. You just type in the Google and just download this study material. Okay?
Yes,
Is
ma'am.
that clear to everyone?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, in food budget for 6 months, January, like it is QA. Q is quantity
Q is quantity, yes.
and A amount. Amount same हो गया ना?
Amount, it's amount.
Okay.
Okay? So this is the way you have to plan a food budget for 6 months. And an exam, it could be either 2 months or 3 months or 6 months. Okay?
Okay.
Now we quickly come to the next unit, which is how do we plan for growing for our food. So in this unit, we again understand food is one of the basic need of man, and it has been the basic need from the times immemorial, and it has been discovered and sometimes invented the various forms and ways and the means that how can we produce food with the better yield. So to increase the yield, we have often used the modern methods of production, which includes the green revolutions and the factors which affect production is really, emphasized in this chapter. So food actually plays a very vital relationship with the size and movement of population. So this food actually has been proved since the beginning of human civilization, and in search of better life, man has always been migrating from one place to the other in search of food and shelter. So majorly the settlement colonies of human beings are always found on the river bank areas where there is more prospects of getting water for irrigation and all, and they can grow their food. So the classification of food is based on the source. So we have really classified our requirement of food into three basic food groups, and this includes the food which we actually require from land, then the foods which we require from the livestock, and the food which we require as water. So when we talk about the food which we require from land, the foods which we require from the piece of land to produce them are the crops which are to be grown in the form of rice, wheat, pulses, vegetables, and fruits. So the availability of land for cultivation purposes is actually now getting limited because the increasing population pressure on the population growth. So we see that a lot of factors are available for the geographical area, which actually has to provide the land for housing, industries, trade, along with agriculture. So the total land available for growing crops in our country should always be limited. And due to the nature of production of different crops and the duration of their growth, they can be rarely put into some plot of land. So every country should know what exactly their population is, कितने लोग हैं उनके पास, और उनको उनको सस्टेन करने के लिए या सरवाइव करने के लिए कितना अमाउंट ऑफ खाना उनको उनके लिए प्रोड्यूस करना चाहिए. तो एक बेसिक स्टैटिस्टिक्स हैं जो एक कंट्री को उसका क्रॉपिंग पैटर्न बताते हैं या हेल्प करते हैं डिस्कवर करने के लिए कि हमारे को अपनी बेसिक नीड्स के अलावा अपनी लैंड को लैंड यूटिलाइजेशन पैटर्न के अंदर कैसे डिवाइड करना है. मतलब कितनी लैंड को हमें ट्रेड के लिए डालना है, कितनी इंडस्ट्रीज के लिए डालना है, और कितना जो फर्टाइल एरिया है उसको फूड प्रोडक्शन के लिए ब्लॉक या स्टॉक करके रख रहा है ताकि हम लोगों के लिए खाना प्रोड्यूस कर सकें. So each crop will have a particular level of productivity जिसको हम yield per hectare बोलते हैं, and this is based on the total requirement of a crop and its productivity. So if we have to plant the particular crop on a specific area of land, we should know the following illustration, जिसमें हम एक डेटा तैयार करेंगे, जिसमें एक प्रोजेक्टेड डेटा होएगा which is issued by the planning commission, जिसमें requirement of rice in India आएगी of 2011 and 12 which was 84.7 million tons, and the yield per hectare of rice was 3.1 ton. So the area requirement of production for rice should be 84.7 divided by 3.1 tons. तो जब हम yield per hectare को divide करते हैं with the requirement of rice, that gives us the area required for the production of rice, जिससे हमें अपने लैंड यूज पैटर्न से पता लग जाता है कि हमारे कंट्री में इतनी राइस ईटिंग पॉपुलेशन है और उनको फीड करने के लिए हमारे को इतना टन राइस चाहिए ही चाहिए. So this is how we calculate the area required for production of rice, and accordingly ऐसे हर वेजिटेबल की, हर लेग्यूम की और हर अपने मिलेट्स की या वीट की या वेरियस अदर सोर्सेज की हमें एरिया रिक्वायरमेंट पता होनी चाहिए. अकॉर्डिंगली हम उसी हिसाब से अपनी प्लानिंग करते हैं टू प्रोड्यूस फूड फॉर the people of the country. So careful planning has to be done to decide as to how much area should be planted under each crop to fulfill your production requirements. As we all know, plants cannot grow very well just because land and water are available, एंड इसके लिए हमें प्रॉपर डिवीजन भी चाहिए, प्रॉपर क्लाइमेटिक कंडीशंस भी चाहिए ताकि हम हेल्दी एंड न्यूट्रिशियस क्रॉप्स को ग्रो कर सके. क्योंकि एक अच्छी हार्वेस्ट के लिए, एक अच्छे गुड क्रॉप के लिए वी शुड नो इट्स प्रॉपर सीजन, इट्स प्रॉपर सॉइल, इट्स टेम्परेचर एंड क्लाइमेटिक कंडीशंस, सो दैट जो भी फार्मर इन प्लांट्स को सो करता है या ग्रो करता है वो एप्रोप्रिएट साइंटिफिकली प्रूवन मेथड से करे ताकि उसको बेटर यील्ड रिसीव हो. उसको पता होना चाहिए कि कौन से सीजन में कौन सा क्रॉप ग्रो होएगा, कहाँ पे ग्रो होएगा. जैसे अगर हम बात करें, अगर हम टी कॉफ़ी ग्रो करते हैं नॉर्थ इंडिया में, क्या वो ग्रो करेंगी? टेल मी.
नो.
नहीं. क्यों? बिकॉज टी कॉफी नीड अ वेरी वेरी मॉइस्ट क्लाइमेट एंड अ गुड टाइप ऑफ वार्म लैटेराइट सॉइल. लेकिन नॉर्थ इंडिया में तो हमारे पास सारा एलुवियल सॉइल है, एलुवियल सॉइल है, एंड क्लाइमेटिक कंडीशंस भी उतनी ह्यूमिड एंड वार्म नहीं है. तो नॉर्थ इंडिया में द आइडियल प्रोडक्शन ऑफ क्रॉप इज कॉटन, wheat, sugarcane. Like UP is the leading producer of sugarcane. Haryana and Punjab are the leading producer of wheat and sunflower. वहीं अगर हम बात करें सदर्न इंडिया आर द लीडिंग प्रोड्यूसर ऑफ टी, कॉफी एंड लॉट ऑफ herbs and spices and condiments. Srinagar and Jammu, they are the leading producer of apples, saffrons, lychees and fruits. So we should know कि कौन सा क्रॉप कहाँ पे ग्रो होएगा और उसके लिए हमें अपने पॉपुलेशन नीड के हिसाब से कितनी एरिया चाहिए. So now we come to the foods from the animals, which we called as the livestock. So the animals which are used for production are known as livestock, which means the stock of resources consisting of live animals. Livestock form a very important source of production of food. This type of food consumed from them include milk, egg, meat. Each of these food form an important component of the human diet and is well known. So livestock in the form of meat form the staple food. So in our country, we use milk and eggs mostly to meet our protein requirement along with pulses and cereals. So the animals supply different foods are cattle, poultry, birds, sheep, goats, pig, and livestock will only thrive when we feed them good amount of and good quality of fodder. So any planning for livestock product should include production of proper feed and fodder to them. सो अगर हमें मिल्क की रिक्वायरमेंट अच्छी करनी है तो हमें अच्छी ब्रीड की काउस को रेयर करना है, उनको सही तरीके से डाइट देनी है, उनकी इंजेमिनेशन साइकिल को प्रॉपर वे से रखना है ताकि हमें गुड क्वांटिटी ऑफ मिल्क प्रोड्यूस हो. ऐसे ही हमें अगर हेंस को अच्छे से रियर करना है और हम उनकी अच्छी डाइट और फीड को देखेंगे, उनकी क्लेanलीनेस और उनकी लाइटिंग पैटर्न को के हिसाब से उनको वेल वेंटिलेटेड एरियाज में लिखेंगे तो हमें बेटर क्वालिटी ऑफ चिकन एंड पोल्ट्री मिलेगा एंड एग्स मिलेंगे. Now we discuss food from the water, which is the fish and other produces like squids, crabs, lobsters. So we see fish is the only major food that we usually obtain from water, and there are certain minor foods which we get from water, but they are not expensive. So we have to rear fish and grow them and harvest them, and the art of rearing fishes is known as pisciculture, जिसमें प्रोफेशनल वे से फिश की रेयरिंग होती है और उनको प्रॉपर वे से ब्रीड करवाया जाता है, उनको रियर कराया जाता है और उसको सेल करा जाता है. So we basically major sources of fish is the marine fish and the inland fish. Marine fishing is the activity of fishing undertaken in the seas for which international boundaries are very well defined. Inland fishing, on the other hand, is cultivating and harvesting fish in the inland waters. This includes rearing of fish in the artificial lakes and ponds. Then we have the kitchen garden, that is the horticultural crops. So growing plants in your backyards which yield products which can be gainfully used is called kitchen gardening. The most important plants grown in the kitchen garden are those yielding vegetables, some fruits and flowers. The extent of plants grown in the kitchen garden depends upon the extent of the area available in your backyard. So when we talk about the use of kitchen gardening provides aesthetic pleasures for the family as it is a good way of spending free time. It provides a clean atmosphere around the house. It helps the family to save money on some items of expenditure like vegetables, fruits and flowers. And in some cases, it serves as supplementary source of income to the family. And it may observe in your neighborhood that people sell curry leaves, fruits, coconut, which are grown in their compound. It also helps us to grow vegetables and fruits with organic farming, which is free from insecticide, pesticide, fungicides, and chemical fertilizers. So whenever the plants which are grown in the kitchen garden is usually quite organic, fresh, and are quite economical and effective. So we could grow trees which produce mango, peach, pomegranate, amla, coconut, guava, papaya, sapota, lime in our houses. Like in South India, majorly house have the banana and the coconut trees in their backyard. Similarly, we can grow the papaya and the guava and the mango trees in our houses if we have adequate spaces in our houses. Or else we can promote the kitchen or terrace farming जिसमें हम कुछ vegetables जो बहुत ज़्यादा space नहीं लेती हैं like bottle gourd, bitter gourd, tomatoes, lime, and even papaya and even curry leaves can be easily grown in the terrace. So when we are planning for the kitchen garden, the basis for planning a kitchen garden is the area available for gardening. So we should know about the preference and the priorities, because कई लोगों को perennial plants और seasonal plants चाहिए होते हैं. So when we talk about the perennial plants, they should be given the top priority, as they could be planted and they could be removed for a very long time, and the rest of the area can be planned for growing seasonal crops. So basically जब हम किचन गार्डन का प्लान करते हैं तो पेरिनियल प्लांट्स के लिए हमें बहुत ज़्यादा स्पेस की रिक्वायरमेंट नहीं होती है. इट इज यूजली रेंजिंग इन द range of 3.5 meters. We can also plant some creepers like cucumbers and double beans, which also give them good space around, and we can grow certain other vegetables along with these creepers. So एक आपका डायमेंशन भी दिया हुआ है हाउ टू प्लान अ किचन गार्डन, जिसमें एक ही जगह पे आप डिफरेंट डिफरेंट सेगमेंट्स को डिवाइड करके उसमें आप कई तरीके के वैरायटी ऑफ वेजिटेबल्स एंड फ्रूट्स को ग्रो कर सकते हो. लाइक यू कैन कीप और फिक्स सम स्पेस फॉर सीजनल वेजिटेबल्स, you can space some area for creepers, you can some areas for flowers and ornamental plants, and along with you can also plant some trees like coconut, papaya, mango, sapota and lemon. So in this, we learned about how the food production is done and how to plan for the food production depending on the resources and the area available for kitchen gardening. So please go through this through your study material, which is readily available on the e-Gyan Kosh. I hope I am audible to everyone.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
And then after giving you 10 minutes, I'm going to move you to your third unit, that is the public distribution system. Today we are going to cover 5 units.
My God. Together.
So I'm giving you now at least 10 to 15 minutes break, and then we come with the third unit. Okay? Till then, you please go with your resource material and just read it, so that you can also ask your doubts or queries. Am I audible? Can we
Yes,
start
ma'am.
now with the third unit? So before I proceed on, any doubts from the second unit of how to plan the kitchen garden? Yes?
No, ma'am.
I am moving with third unit, which is public distribution system. So through this unit, we are going to understand the system of government and its agency on supplying the essential commodities to the consumer at a reasonable price is known as the public distribution system. So, how the government and its agencies regulate the prices of the essential commodities, which is basic to every living being, so that it is economical for everyone to get used to it. So, the government, in order to regulate it, has opened the fair prices shops, which came into existence during the Second World War. Earlier, the government had made arrangements to open the grain shops in different industrial and rural areas for the distribution of specified quantity of food grains at a specific subsidized rates to the laborers. So, to stabilize the price of food grains, the government organized fair price shops where card holders could make purchases at fixed prices, and the government tried to influence the prices in the open market. The central government formulated a scheme in 1956 for the extensive sale of food grains through fair price shops. All the state governments were asked to open a large number of fair price shops, mainly for the distribution of rice and wheat, and the total distribution of food grains in 1956 from government stock was around 2.1 million tons. Later on, till 1992, PDS was a general entitlement scheme for all consumer without any specific target. And in June 1992, revamped public distribution system, that is known as the RPDS, was launched in tribal, hilly, and drought prone areas with the aim to strengthen and streamline the PDS as well as to improve the reach in their far flung, hilly, and inaccessible areas where substantial sections of poor live. And finally, in June 1997, the Government of India launched the TPDS, which is the Targeted Public Distribution System, which focus on the poor. And under this scheme, the states are required to formulate and implement the foolproof arrangement for identification of the poor for delivery of the food grains. So this was the whole chain of PDS, starting from PDS to RPDS to TPDS, to circulate and effectively establish some fair prices so that the beneficiaries could avail the food grains at a very economical and accessible cost. So when we majorly talk about the public distribution system, under this, the farmer produce the food grains, and after they produce the food grains, they are distributed throughout the length and breadth of the country. The consumers are geography distributed, and most of the consumption points are the larger townships and the urban areas where food is not grown. So the food grown by the farmers will have to be supplied to these consumption centers, and this PDS shops actually serve as the areas where the trading community usually takes care of assembling the crops grown by the farmers and marketing them to the consumers. Then the traders indulge in specific activities or speculative activities. They speculate the price to increase the non-harvest season because of the low availability of food grains, which goes by the simple principle in economics, which says that when the demand of a commodity is more than its supply, and the price of the commodity increases. So there is a possibility of traders hoarding the commodities to create a huge gap, and this lead to the increase in the hike of the prices of food grains, where the traders release their stock, thus enable them to making high profits. So in order to curtail this, the government intervenes in between and prevent such a situation where the food grains, which is the basic requirement, is always sold at the specific, at the government regulated amount. अगर किसी का प्राइस 10 रुपया है और हम उसको मैक्सिमम 15 या 20 रुपए के अंडर ही तक बेचें, ये ना होगा हम 10 रुपए की चीज को सीधा 50 या 100 रुपए करके बेचें. ठीक है. So this is how the government regulates the price of the essential commodities, so that everyone, especially the beneficiary and the poor segment of people, are getting the more maximum benefit. So जितनी भी ये पीडीएस शॉप है, यहाँ पे कुछ एसेंशियल कमोडिटीज है जो गवर्नमेंट रेगुलेटेड प्राइसेस पे ही सेल की जाती हैं, सो दैट जो हमारा बिलो पॉवर्टी लाइन और पॉवर्टी लाइन वाला सेगमेंट पॉपुलेशन है, दे कैन कम एंड परचेज फ्रॉम these PDS shops or fair price shops under a very economical rate. So PDS evolved as a major instrument of the government economic policies for ensuring availability of food grain to the public at affordable prices, as well as for enhancing the food security for the people. तो इसका जो मेजर फंक्शन है अफोर्डेबिलिटी को केटर करना और इनहांस करना फूड सिक्योरिटी को, तो ये इसका प्राइम मेजर फंक्शन है. And government agencies which are involved in the PDS are FCI, Food Corporation of India, along with Food and Civil Food and Civil Supplies Corporation for state governments. They buy the food grains from farmers at regulated price, store them, transport them to the distributed shop, and then the retailers buy, and then they set the minimum support price. So the central government fixes the quota month-wise for which each state regarding the quantity of food grains which can be sold through the PDS. And this quota depends on the needs of the population of the state and its commodities to the central pool of the food stock. Like rice and wheat are the two commodities which have been given the maximum emphasis for the sake of procurement and distribution through the PDS. So हर PDS पे आपको rice and wheat तो मिलेगा ही मिलेगा. And these commodities are not standardized throughout the country because the needs of the different states are different, and we see some state governments are distributing more commodities of common use through fair price, which includes wheat, rice, sugar, kerosene, etc. So when we talk about the TPDS, it is the targeted public distribution system. So the PDS in 1992 was a general entitlement scheme for all the consumer without special targets. But in 1997, the TPDS became the targeted, where different ration cards were issued to households, especially to the BPL and the above poverty line, and each category have different entitlements. Conceptually, the transition from universal PDS to TPDS was a move in the right direction, and it was designed to target all poor household, raise the unit subsidy and ration quota considerably for them. So TPDS stays its focus on the poor and distributes the essential commodities at the very subsidized prices through the fair price shops, and the three distinctive ration cards are issued under this scheme, which includes BPL, a fixed quantity of around 35 kilogram of food grains per family per month is issued under this category, and the stocks are issued at highly subsidized rate at rupees 4.15 per kg of wheat and rupees 5.65 per kg of rice. The second category is Antyodaya Anna Yojana. During the year 2000-2001, Government of India decided to release food grains under Antyodaya Anna Yojana. Under this scheme, the poorest strata of population out of earlier identified BPL population is covered, and food grains are provided to the poorest of the poor families at the subsidized rate of rupees 2 per kg of wheat and rupees 3 per kg for rice. And the third category is above poverty line, which is the APL. Family which are not covered under BPL are placed under this category, and the stocks are issued at a central price of rupees 6.10 per kg of wheat and rupees 8.30 per kg of rice. So through this category segregation, we could address the needs of below poverty line, middle poverty line, and the above poverty line. So the identification of people belonging to this category is usually done by the gram panchayats, nagar palikas, and the person who are fall under this category are the landless agricultural laborer, marginal farmers, rural craftsmen, potters, weavers, blacksmiths, carpenters, etc. Now we will understand the concept and working of PDS system and TPDS. So there are two important concepts which have to be understood. They are the market price and the issues price. When we talk about the market price, it is the price of the commodity prevailing in the open market, and issue price is the price at which the government releases its stock to the retailers for distribution. So here again, the price you pay in your shop will be more than the issue price. So definitely the information of price will usually be converted to index numbers, which is the price index. सो इसको भी एक एग्जाम्पल के फॉर्म में एक्सप्लेन किया हुआ है, जैसे प्राइस ऑफ बीट दिया हुआ है 2001-2002 में 700 पर क्विंटल, एंड वहीं आपका प्राइस ऑफ बीट महंगाई के हिसाब से 2007 और 8 में बढ़ गया है, विच हैज रेज्ड अप टू 960 पर क्विंटल. सो जो हमारा बेस ईयर है उसमें हमारा जो प्राइस है दैट इज 700 और करंट ईयर का प्राइस है 960. तो प्राइस इंडेक्स फॉर बीट निकालने के लिए पहले हम बेस ईयर का प्राइस निकालेंगे, विच इज 700 डिवाइडेड बाय 700 इंटू 100, एंड देन हम करंट ईयर का प्राइस निकालेंगे, विच इज द करंट प्राइसेस डिवाइडेड बाय द बेस प्राइस इंटू 100. सो दिस विल गिव यू द इंडेक्स नंबर, एंड यू कैन जस्ट अंडरस्टैंड दिस फॉर्मूला. इसमें कुछ नहीं है, बस आपको बेस ईयर और करंट ईयर के प्राइसेस को पता करके फॉर्मूला में पुट करके अपने इंडेक्स नंबर्स निकालने हैं. एंड वी कुड ऑल्सो सी दैट टीपीडीएस के अंदर Government has recognized certain essential items like cereals, like rice and wheat, sugar, edible oil, soft coke, kerosene, control cloth, tea, coffee, toilet and washing soaps, matchboxes, and exercise books for children. These are the essential commodities which is needed by the major families or majority families in the entire countries and being included under the CPDS schemes. So we have fair prices shops. Fair price shop is one in which the commodities are sold at reasonable and fixed prices. At present, there are around 4.5 lakh fair price shops in our country, which are scattered over both in urban and rural areas. And the important commodities which are actually released under the fair price shops are food grains, sugar, edible oil, and kerosene oil. And the major advantages of buying your requirement from a ration shop is that you can get the commodities at a lower price as compared to buying the same in the open market. Secondly, the price at which commodities are sold in the ration shop do not fluctuate as much as they do in other shops, क्योंकि वहाँ बहुत हाई मार्जिन ऑफ प्रॉफिट्स लग के ट्रेडर्स और रिटेलर्स अपना सामान बेचते हैं, लेकिन ये वाली शॉप्स पे गवर्नमेंट रेगुलेटेड प्राइस होते हैं जो इतना इजीली फ्लक्चुएट नहीं होते हैं और स्टेबल रहते हैं. Then we have food subsidy. When we talk about food subsidies, a subsidy is that component of the total price which a buyer need not pay. Food subsidy is one which helps a consumer buys food at a cheaper rate than what he would be actually paid for. So subsidies are usually awarded by the government, either central or state, and the main intention of a subsidy is to help the buyer purchase his requirement at a cheaper prices. In fact, subsidies are sometimes also used to encourage the consumption of some commodities. Example of such subsidized products includes new commodities sold in the market or indigenously produced goods as against the imported ones. So, subsidies may come either in the form of absorption of certain cost by the government or in the form of cash. फॉर एग्जाम्पल हम देखते हैं अगर हमें सब्सिडीज मिलती हैं गवर्नमेंट से तो गवर्नमेंट कुछ तरीके का ग्रांट देती है या कुछ अमाउंट के लोन्स देती है एंड ऑल दिस सब्सिडी आर रेगुलेटेड बाय एफसीआई and depending on the seasonal crop production गवर्नमेंट अपनी सब्सिडीज प्रोडक्शन रेट के बेसिस पे ही तय करके लगाती है. सो बेसिकली जब हम इसमें बात करते हैं एफसीआई की, the food grains which are produced by the FCI from either the open market or collection in the terms of some compulsory sales, the price at which FCI buys the food grain is known as the procurement price. Procurement price are fixed by the government of India, and the prices at which government commodities include, which are rice, wheat, coarse grain. As a matter of policy, the government announces the procurement price for different commodities at the beginning of the sowing season. And if you closely observe, the procurement price for kharif crops like June to November are announced in June, while that of rabi crops are announced in November. So जब हम इनको शो करते हैं उससे पहले ही इनका procurement प्राइस जो होता है वो गवर्नमेंट पहले से अनाउंस कर देती है और उसी के प्राइस के बेसिस पे ही सारी रेगुलेशंस टेक फॉरवर्ड करती हैं. So such an announcement of procurement price in the beginning of a crop season has a favorable impact on the producers. This is because the farmers are aware that this is the minimum price at which they have to sell their produce, and the procurement price is fixed according to the recommendation of an advisory body called Commission on Agriculture Cost and Prices. The body was formerly known as the Agriculture Cost and Price Commission. The commission takes into account the average cost of production of crop for its recommendation for procurement prices. So basically, जो FCI है, it spends a huge amount of money on incidentals like obligatory charge, जिसमें मंडी चार्ज होता है, सेल टैक्स होता है, कॉस्ट ऑफ गनी बैग्स होते हैं, स्टोरेज ऑफ इंटरेस्ट चार्जेस होते हैं, हैंडलिंग चार्जेस होते हैं, एस्टैब्लिशमेंट चार्जेस होते हैं. And FCI also incur cost on the following items of distribution, which includes the freight, interest, transit, handling, and administrative overheads. So when we add all the three prices, which includes a procurement price, procurement incidentals, and distribution incidentals, this all sum total yields economic cost. So difference between the economic cost of procurement and the central issue price of a commodity is known as the consumer subsidy, जिसको एक एग्जाम्पल के फॉर्म में करा हुआ है, जिसमें हम देख सकते हैं एक टेबल दिया हुआ है, टेबल 3.3, जिसमें एक इकोनॉमिक कॉस्ट है, एक सेंट्रल इशू प्राइस है, जिसमें दो आइटम्स दी हुई हैं, एक व्हीट और एक राइस, जिसमें आपकी 3 कैटेगरीज भी डिवाइड है, जिसमें आपकी बीपीएल, एपीएल और एक अंत्योदय अन्न योजना की कैटेगरी है, कि हमने इन कैटेगरीज में किस किस प्राइस पे इन कमोडिटीज को सेल करना है. इतना डिटेल में क्वेश्चंस नहीं आते हैं, बट आपको इसमें सब्सिडी क्या होती है, प्रोक्योरमेंट, इनकी डेफिनेशंस पता होनी चाहिए. ये कैलकुलेट वगैरह करना आपका कुछ भी नहीं आएगा, ये कुछ ज्यादा ही डिटेल में दिया हुआ है, बट स्टिल यू शुड नो द टर्म एंड व्हाट डज दैट मीन, ओनली इतना आपको पता होना चाहिए. So in this unit we learned about the meaning and origin of working of PDS, TPDS, and we also identified the commodities which are sold by the TPDS, and we understood the concept of fair price shop and how the government policies is initiated with the public distribution system. So this was all in the unit 3. I want everyone to understand this all 3 units, and tomorrow we are going to have our class in the same time, in which I would be completing. I think आज मेरी वो next unit नहीं हो पाएगी. Tomorrow I am going to take your second unit, second book, okay, in which I would be doing 4 units, unit 4, unit 5, unit 6, and unit 7 for tomorrow. Okay, today I have just completed your block 1. Okay, now I give you 5 minutes to go through the last unit which we just discussed, and tell me if you need to ask me anything. Okay, and then I would be leaving the class for the open discussion of some doubts and general questions. Yeah. Any doubts? Any doubts? Any further doubts regarding your assignment or something like that?
Not now, ma'am.
Okay. So tomorrow again we are having a class and we would be again doing the block 2 with you where I'm going to complete unit 4, 5, 6 and 7. Till then, if you still find the doubts from any first 3 units that we have done today from block 1, you can just ask and raise your queries on the same. Okay?
मैडम
Yes.
मैम मुझे असाइनमेंट के बारे में पूछना था अगर आपसे बात कर सकती हूँ मैम
हाँ हाँ बताइए क्या पूछना है.
एक्चुअली हम हमारे ग्रुप में हम लोग 3-4 जन है जो अभी एग्जाम देने असाइनमेंट देने वाले नहीं है लेकिन
अच्छा.
वो जो क्वेश्चन पेपर्स है वो सेम आएंगे जिनका अभी जुलाई में एग्जाम्स है 10, 11, 12 वो सेम आएंगे कि हमको दूसरा असाइनमेंट करना पड़ेगा.
नहीं नहीं आपको वही असाइनमेंट क्योंकि आप इसी ईयर में दोगे ना तो इसी ईयर के आपको वही आपके एनरोलमेंट नंबर के हिसाब से आपको देना पड़ेगा तो आपको वही सेम असाइनमेंट ही देना पड़ेगा.
सेम असाइनमेंट देना पड़ेगा अगर
यस.
मैं दिसंबर में भी देती हूँ नवंबर दिसंबर
हाँ
में
जी.
एग्जाम
हाँ
तो
जी.
असाइनमेंट सेम रहेगा.
हाँ सेम रहेगा.
ओके ओके थैंक यू सो मच.
Uh, if you are appearing in the exam in December, we have to submit the same assignment.
Yes, you have to. But if you appear in next year July, then you have to, submit different assignment.
Mm-mm. Then last date for submitting the assignment will be given. There will be a later
Yes.
date.
Yes.
Oh, same as question. Okay, thank you.
So if you are done with your queries, can we wind up with the today's class?
Yes ma'am.
I hope all your queries were sorted.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I hope you like the class and hope to see you all tomorrow.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Bye-bye to all.
Yes, ma'am.
Tomorrow
In
we'll be
case,
covering the agriculture policies, right?
Yes. Block number 2.
Unit 4.
Yeah. Unit 4.
Okay.
Government
Thank you.
policies and programs tomorrow we would be covering.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Okay?
Thank you,
Yeah.
ma'am. Thank you.
Bye-bye to all.
Bye, ma'am.
Bye.
Yeah.
Thank you.